Hits for the pound.
Yeah, this is how we do it in the Central Colors, man. We got 40 ounces, Old English, rag tops, 6'4" Impalas, and bikini girls, man. This is how we do it on the West Coast. San Diego, San Francisco, Los Angeles. But don't forget about the Central Cali, man. Please don't forget about the Central Cali. Yeah, get 'em.
It's another sunny day in the state of California. Low rider palm trees and G's that put it on ya. This ain't a negative, we speaking ebonics. Rank talk, candy paint on D's with hydraulics. Baseball hat with the sticker on the brim. Don't let the sun blind your sight, cause things can get grim. But I'm not here to talk about banana clips and guns. We're going back to Cali and we're gonna have some fun. A West Coast domination.
And welcome back to Toothpaste and Timber Podcast. I am your host, Fred Segura. I'm here in Monterey County, also known to the world as the Salad Bowl, also known as the Salinas Valley. To the people in LA, we are north. To the people in San Francisco, we are south. Right smack in the middle, best of both worlds. Don't forget about the Central Cali. Anyway, folks, today we are going to talk about road raging. Now, due to myself that lives out here in the Monterey County area, the Salinas Valley, it's been very hectic out there on the road with people when they're driving around and so on and so forth, right? But I've talked to other people who live, you know, obviously they live in other places, say Los Angeles or the Bay Area or wherever the case may be. And it's the same everywhere. And, you know, and mind you, Los Angeles has crazy traffic. You know, it's just you dodge and you go through it. I get it. But it seems to be even worse now for a lot of people, especially out here. It's not as busy as you would say Southern California, at least in this area in Monterey County. But the situation being that, you know, people, again, are always in a hurry. Nobody wants to let nobody cut in front of them. They could be riding in a blind spot for like 7 miles and just cruising there. Go past a semi truck and they're just like right there. They're not even wanting to pass, impeding traffic, tailgating, so on and so forth. People are no longer courteous. You got people who just want to antagonize other drivers, which seems like they want to antagonize other drivers, and so on and so forth. So at the end of it all, you know, here's the problem. There's been numerous of accidents. Unfortunately, lives have been taken. Due to these accidents that perhaps could have been avoided. There's people who are speeding, you know, there's 4-car collisions or more, you know, and why people say, you know, I've seen it across social media. I've seen it where they say, you know, how do these people crash, you know, going on the straightaway? Well, I'll tell you how, by tailgating. That's simple. It's common sense. You know, I drive. I'm not saying I'm the perfect driver. I'm not trying to do all that, you know. But I'll tell you this. If there's people driving, first and foremost, I don't like to cruise the passing lane. There's 2 lanes out here in these areas. There's a passing lane and then there's just a driving lane. Well, nobody wants to be in the driving lane. Everybody wants to be in the passing lane, and they're clustered. Just a cluster of vehicles all the way miles and miles up ahead. Nobody wants to pass. You know, nobody wants to get out of the way. Nothing. It's just hectic. So the situation here is when I'm driving and I'm in the, you know, say the passing, whatever lane it is, I always like to leave a car and a half to 2 cars in front, you know, away. You know. So tell me why when somebody passes, they decide to get there and then push me even further back. You know, but they're tailgating the person, you know, or maybe, let me put it like this. They not only do they push me back now because I got to make more space to not be tailgating them, but maybe they're going to get off at the next exit. So now they're tailgating the car that's in front of me. You're not going to get there any faster by tailgating these people. That it makes zero sense. You know, it's like you don't even know you could be driving all cool and somebody could just come and, you know, rear end you or whatever the case may be. You know, I've had a situation where I was just like, I lost a vehicle in a sense, and due to, you know, just a bad situation. Not lost a vehicle because they took it away. No, lost a vehicle in the sense of due to an accident or whatever the case may be, right? It's so to deal with the insurance. It's just so hectic. It can be avoided. It can be avoided. And people, oh, I have full coverage. Okay, that's fine. But full coverage is not going to replace your life if you take somebody out by what you think is because you want to get to somewhere. You know, you think you're going to make it in time, and you're only really going to make a difference in 30 seconds or less. It makes zero sense. And these are people of all ages that are unfortunately passing on these highways, on Highway 101, be it northbound and southbound. There's teenagers, people in their 20s, elderly people, children. And mind you, just that's the worst case scenario, but the other worst case scenario is perhaps being a paraplegic or whatnot to those kind of things. I mean, if I park somewhere too, even to try to get out, to try to back out of somewhere, nobody's trying to give you the time of day. Back then, back in the day, I don't want to sound old here, but back in the day, people would stop and be like, hey, go ahead, bring it, come on out. Because they see your reverse lights on. Now, nobody cares. Nobody has time for anything. And unfortunately, they might run out of that time by driving like the way they do. Same thing as pedestrians as well is just as bad as everybody's looking down at their phone as they're crossing the street. Nobody's watching their surroundings. Nobody's watching anything. It's just hectic. It's just hectic, and it's not just in this area. It's everywhere. Be it the bigger cities, be it everywhere. Like, you know what? And I will say this: being in a car club. I don't know. We're going to a car show one time, and there's a picture of it on social media. And they pulled us over. The Highway Patrol pulled us over somewhere out. Well, a lot of you guys don't know. So, anyways, they pulled us over, and one of the guys took a picture, and it's still available today on social media. I'll probably share it at the end of this video. But they gave us all a ticket for Caravan. I start to think that maybe I forgot how much I paid for that ticket, but now I feel like the state owes me some money because you wrongfully gave me a ticket for something that people are getting away with today, every day. Caravanning, look at the passing lane, just cluster of people. They said, oh, well, you guys are driving, that's unsafe. Is the Highway Patrol not out there? Are they even out there looking at what's going on? And I said, some of you people can make things like, oh, well, see, there you go, involving law enforcement or what. in the event of an emergency, say you have a pregnant wife, a sick child, maybe you should call an ambulance, right? But if you happen to be driving somewhere and the guy or woman or whoever in front of you decides they want to play games and not let you pass, because they think it's cute, because, oh, no, I'm just going to, whatever. Not understanding what's going on behind them. See, none of these things come into play in anybody's mind in these situations. And they take it as a game, like as a video game. This is why I dare say that social media has actually leaked into real life, where people believe everything's competitive. Everything, I need to have this. I need to be in front. I need to do this. Everything is I need. You need to be more courteous. Now, granted, not everybody has an emergency situation, especially the people going to work in the morning. And you know what, man? Leave another 10 minutes early. Solution. Give yourself some time. Well, I shouldn't have to because then there's the problem. Because everybody starts doing the same thing. And then we wonder why insurance is even going up higher. There's a lot of things that I think we've lost. Again, that we've lost. Such as common courtesy, such as it just being safe. I think about these people sometimes that did not make it home. And mind you, you see people sometimes that are younger and are drag racing or speeding like a speed demon down the freeway. But what happens if they cause an accident and involve the family? You're going to prison for the rest of your life. If it gets to the people who are, badly hurt or worse. Nobody thinks of consequences no more. Nobody thinks of maybe it's not a game out there. And I'm not saying that, obviously nobody thinks it's a game, but it's just like, hey man, I need to get to work, or I need to get over here, and I'm. There are cases for emergencies sometimes, and sometimes it's best to know. Bottom line is nobody wants to be courteous. That's just a fact. There's road raging. There's people who will follow somebody else, and then they're involving somebody getting harmed and or worse because they follow them to a certain place or they recognize them from whatever, and it gets worse. How far are we going to go? And I'm not just speaking about my area. I'm speaking about everywhere. How far are we going to go with this when it just could take you an extra early, leave the house a little bit earlier? Don't be so upset and trying to block somebody or trying not to let somebody pass. I've had people basically ride like half a car behind me on the passing side. And the moment I put my signal to get onto the other lane, they attempt to cut me off. I'm like, dude, are you serious? You've been following me for 10 miles. Because they don't want to let you get in front of them. How childish is that, man? It's kind of pathetic. We should look at these commercials of caveman about insurance and stuff, and people saying, how much money they saved, by switching to whatever insurance company or whatever, right? How about saving a whole lot of money by not driving like an idiot? With that, this is Two-Face Entertainment Podcast. I'm your host, Fred Segura, signing out.
Shining, it's burning up my chest to the core. So therefore I can't be ignored. With the Conan sword, Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'm the predator. My blood is turning two-faced green. Check my temperature, you ready for the lecture? As I come with the stretcher, knowledge is the key to everything, so watch your temper. When it comes to the storyteller, I am the treasure. I'm in the laboratory, so please call me Dexter. The music is my pleasure. For 30 years strong, it's two-faced ghetto ballin' to the heart with golden arms and flyer. We the ravens up in the sky. We ain't gon' stop till I retire.
Just a song before I go, to whom it may concern.
Haters shake the fist, suckers preaching me rolling. Why you so mad? Why you so serious? You in my rear view like the slow and delirious. Keep on mashing, getting plenty action. The home of the G's and pimps, I love it with a passion. Throw it up, it's California, where the sun lays to rest like every day. The home of the color rack, swap meets and bangers. Chuck Taylor's Lolos and them real dope slangers. This is reality, it's where I stay. Along the Pacific in the state of CA. Golden State, from Frisco to Compton and back to Central Cali where the party keeps rocking. It's a California state of mind, and you can't be mad, that's just how we rock.